When the Apple Vision Pro was first announced, I don't think anyone really realized how weird of a product it was going to be. I was really skeptical of the Apple Vision Pro. I don't really think that it was marketed very well. I don't really think people understand what it is, what it's for, and I think they kind of dropped the ball on this because at the end of the day, it's really just this. Or should I say, that. I recently came into possession of this old MacBook Air, and the screen was broken. And as one does, I decided, okay, I'll try out what everyone's been talking about this headless MacBook, and here we are. I think what a very underrated aspect of the MacBook is that you have all of these gestures with your finger with the touchpad. It's actually very easy to just scroll. You can kind of just move past everything. It's very intuitive. The pinch, scrolls, everything. It's a very underrated part of just of trackpads as a whole. It's a great laptop, even if it doesn't even have a screen. But what was so fascinating to me is that I'm sitting down and it's on my lap and I'm looking at a screen that is plugged into, of course, and I'm doing exactly what people are doing with the Apple Vision Pro, which is pinching and scrolling and using these tiny gestures with my hand while my head is facing forward. And this is not something you can usually get with a laptop. I mean, of course, you can plug in your laptop to a screen, but you're always going to have that giant, bulky thing on your lap. And if you think about it, the balance of the laptop is actually pushing it always a little bit forward because of that screen. But what was so fascinating to me is that without it, I don't even notice it's there. I really don't notice that I have a laptop on my lap after maybe a couple minutes. It just becomes seamless. And especially if you're good with typing on a laptop, you just have this perfect interface to look forward and look into a screen. Perhaps maybe you have two screens plugged in, I don't know. And you can just interact with it in such a seamless manner. And that sounds exactly like the Vision Pro, where you can place different windows around you. You can interact with your touch, with your zoom, with your pinch. You have a keyboard. I think eventually, especially with all that emphasis on the eyesight and the eye tracking, it's going to become even more intuitive. And that's what it is. We've just taken off the screen and moved it up. Except I can now move it with my eyeballs. To be fair, I do acknowledge that the reasoning behind all the eyesight stuff and all the interaction stuff is to make it seem more natural to people, because wearing this on my face seems kind of scary, and especially if they want it to be widespread where you can almost walk around with it. I don't want to see a guy wearing this in a cafe. It just looks weird, man. I'm going to be honest. So I think I get it now. It's the headless Mac actually makes me understand the Vision Pro a whole lot more. And honestly, if you have a laptop or particularly a Mac that's lying around with a broken screen, it's a wonder to use without it. Honestly, a great experience, I gotta say. And if the Vision Pro is anything close to the amount of usability and comfort that you can get from this, it's a great product.